we made it the way she wanted to. So we do our wet ingredients and our dry ingredients. Do you want to crack some eggs? Are you
Absolutely,
better?
I can crack some eggs.
Let me see your skills. Better.
I don't do the one-handed crack because always I get a little chip in there. I know I love that.
Whenever I do the one-handed crack, I get a chip.
Yeah. But bang it hard. Don't be scared.
Don't be scared. And let's add some vanilla extract.
Beautiful.
Because that's wet. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Should we do our sugars next?
We should. Do you want to whip those first? Or
Yeah, let's beat them.
Okay.
You beat them. You said you haven't beaten anything in a while. I said she can beat up whoever she wants today, so watch out. You're beating it like it owes you money.
And those obliques are really hard.
Did you give me? Oh, thanks, right? I get hit a lot. Don't worry. I'm just used to it.
The nice thing about this too, when I looked at the recipe, is that you can do it all by hand. You do not have to get out any appliance.
Nah, you don't have to. And you can get your hands messy too. That's how my daughter does it.
All right, that's good right there.
Fantastico. So a little granulated sugar. We're gonna do a little bit of brown sugar.
Beautiful.
And we're gonna mix that together. We're gonna use. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying I like the double chip because there's layers of flavor. Like, don't get me wrong, I do like a chocolate chip cookie.
Yeah.
But I like the
But I like
salty,
Reese's
a
peanut
little
butter
sweet.
cups
Yeah,
too.
Oh, man.
Yeah, chocolate and peanut butter are sort of perfect.
So nice. All right.
That looks fantastic.
Everybody
Nice and gooey. That's exactly what it should look like. Oh, we should have put our butter in probably
It's all good.
at the same time, but at least you forgot with me.
It's
So
okay.
we're in it together. So this counts as our wet ingredients. So it's just our eggs, our vanilla extract, our butter, which should be soft. You want to take that out early or it makes the process a lot harder. And then you probably will need an egg beater as opposed to just being able to massage it in there. And then our sugars I count as wet because when we put them in, they dissolve, they get sticky and gooey. Everything else is our dry ingredients, and all that stuff's going to go in next.
I'm getting it there, guys.
It's getting there. It's just not super soft, that's all.
I've gotten my 10,000 steps around the park, and now I'm getting my extra leg.
Put my fist in there and smoosh it.
Do you want to give it a go?
I don't want to put my fist in there, but I'll take over if you want.
Sure.
All right, cool. She's like, yeah, my forearms are burning. I don't think I can tell that story on camera.
So, with your daughter and cooking, in terms of working this out, did she take the lead on this?
She's wanted to ever since she was 4. You know, it's tricky with kids in cooking because at a certain point, you realize how young you were when you started doing these things and how much longer you want them to wait than you did. But you shouldn't. You know, you gotta let them fail. Failure's a word that we're so afraid of. It's like saying Voldemort in Harry Potter. But if you're a bodybuilder, that's how your muscles get bigger. If you're, you know, I never learned how to play football. My godfather was Bob Wall. He's the guy that trained Bruce Lee how to fight. So I took martial arts at age 3, and you learn by getting hit. And you go, ow, I don't like that. Oh, well then do this. Okay, and it was the quickest lesson in the world. And it came through failure. And all these other martial arts, when I would go to other schools and they would teach techniques and there was no contact allowed, I didn't feel like I was learning anything. They're just giving you belts because you were there for 3 months instead of earning it. So failure to me is, that's the only way you learn. So I let my daughter do her thing, and she's made recipes that she didn't like. She put way too much lime juice in a dessert and it was too sour for her, but she learned. I just took the rest of the limes and put them in a Corona and life was good. I tell my daughter that Corona, she doesn't like anything spicy. And the first time she ever wanted beer, she goes, Daddy, what's that? I said, beer. And she goes, well, what does it taste like? Oh, it's really spicy. I don't think you like it. And she literally recoils like the way we would like after that first horrible hangover from like whatever alcohol it was, and like the moment you smell it, you're like, oh, I can't ever drink that again. So that was the proper response. So if you need a trick on how to keep your kids from just stealing a sip, there you go. This butter is almost soft enough. I don't want us to have lumpy cookies, but I think we can just move forward. And you guys are already eating some where the butter was not too hard. So anyway, I will start getting my hands dirty. So this is super easy, you guys. All you need is a hot grill. Am I turning this on back here, or are we just pretending?
We're pretending.
We're pretending, okay.
I can make the sound.
Let's do it. All right, we're on the same page. So I can't eat a raw onion. It's beyond my capacity to understand how those flavors should work. But if it's cooked, I can't get enough of it. So whether you grill them or throw them in a pan with oil, however you want to do it, once you cook them, they're good. But seriously, like if they're on a salad or on a sandwich, I have to send it back. I can't even have the smell on it. So this is how I deal with them. And to sweeten them up, we use everybody's favorite Hawaiian fruit, the pineapple. And I'll just alternate from onions. This will be a little tricky, but we got it. And then I'll go pineapple again. Now look, at my house, I probably shouldn't say this because somebody will get salmonella and sue me. But at my house, I'll put, you know, chicken, onion, and make like a kebab. Yeah. But in a cookbook, you really can't write that because someone literally will go, oh, the coffee was hot when I spilled it on me, and I want all your money. But there are times when I will do chicken, onion, pineapple, but not in this case. So we'll go red onion now. Yeah, just in time. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You guys, this is Lexi. She worked harder than any of us today.
Thank you.
No, we're perfect, dude. Super, super simple. Okay, 2 blocks of onions, 2 blocks of pineapple. Now, these are all the seasonings that you need for the chicken, and this is easy, 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 easy. Salt and pepper. We'll mix it all together in a second. Garlic powder. Green chili powder, which you can get online just about anywhere. If you can't get it, it's not the end of the world. If you want a little heat, you can put cayenne on there. It's a different vibe, but it'll still work with pineapple. The flavors still work. You can mix them all together if you want. I've always been kind of a guy that does everything one thing at a time. It takes me longer than the other kids, but I do it right. So all I would do from here is basically a little bit of salt on both sides, a little bit of pepper on both sides, a little bit of awesome green chili powder. You guys, I grew up in New Mexico, and this was pretty much on everything that we ate. From breakfast, where we would make literally green eggs and ham, and we would make a green chili sauce, put it in the eggs, it would turn them green, cook up some jamon, and it was game on. And then a little bit of garlic powder. So 4 ingredients on your chicken, and that's all you need. If you want to squirt some lime on there or something like that, it's groovy. I would double this up with another piece of chicken and do the same thing. I would throw it on the grill. You don't have to do it for more than 6 minutes. You could do it for a little less. I would recommend probably 4 to 6 when it's this thin. Flip it, same side on the other side, and then literally, when they're cooked, and you guys I think get to eat them in a second, it's the simplest thing in the world. And it's perfect for like if you're having a cocktail party, or for me, we do a lot of UFC fights in my house. Like I said, my godfather's Bob Wall. I don't know how to throw a football, but I'll choke a quarterback out quick. Just ask Washington Redskins. They came to train at the Gracie Academy, and you were just looking at 400-pound guys that can bench press their body weight, tapping out in like 2 seconds, going, how did you do that? And the Gracie brothers, who were like their grandfather invented it, are like, bro, it's all leverage, relax. And he gave him this speech, and then Henry Gracie goes, how much does your belt weigh? He's wearing a white belt. He goes, I don't know, like a pound. And he goes, how much can you bench press? The guy's like, I bench press 400 pounds. Like, he's very proud of that. And Henry goes, okay. He goes, bench press your belt. And the guy goes, what? He goes, bench press your belt. And he grabs his belt, and he's like, what do you mean? It's stuck. It's connected to me. He goes, and that's leverage. And that's all he said to him. And to watch this football player kind of take time, because a football player learns things one way, right? And to have to learn like an artful philosophy in martial arts and go like, look, it doesn't matter how strong you are. If I'm connected to you, you can bench press 1,000 pounds. I'm never getting off, ever. It's the rules of physics are denying your muscles. And once you saw these guys accept that, all of a sudden I was seeing there's a linebacker, his name's Tamba Ali. And if you're from Kansas City, he's a monster for your team. And I watched him literally do a jiu-jitsu move on a quarterback and smashed him to the ground. And the referees had never seen this before. It's called a body fold takedown. You can YouTube it. And they literally, there was a movie called Semi-Pro with Will Ferrell, where they did like the first alley-oop, and the ref didn't know what to say, so he just said foul. And that's what this ref did. He was just like, and just blew the whistle and never said what the penalty was. Because the guy was just, the quarterback's like, what happened? I don't know, it wasn't illegal, but I can't do anything. And it was over. So patience, I love jiu-jitsu with cooking, patience. Jiu-jitsu is about patience. We wait till the muscle guys stop and their muscles give up, and then we just grab their neck and they go sleep. And it's fun. And my daughter does jiu-jitsu too. And when she was 4, she submitted an 8-year-old boy. And that's the truth. Because jiu-jitsu is sweet. But anyway, like in all things, my godfather taught me patience at a very early age. With all these things, when you're cooking this chicken, don't do it on medium-high. You think it'll cook it faster? It won't. It'll just take all the moisture out. It won't taste that good. Emeril Lagasse famously said, low and slow, it really does work. I cook this on medium heat. It works perfectly. My chicken's never burned. It's always juicy. It always tastes the way I want it to. I've never had to turn my grill up to medium high, really ever. Because once you close that box, it gets nice and toasty in there. So that's what I would recommend. Patience. Do we have the chicken yet? Are you guys getting to eat, or is it just cookies all day? You ate dessert before dinner, which is a terrible example. And Gabriella, remember that. All these people eating this cookie first, they spoiled their dinner. But not you. You guys know usual.
So is that kind of a nice tenderizer too?
Yeah, if you put it in with the chicken, a lot of that nice pineapple love goes into it. If you don't, I just suggest having a bite and doing it together like that. And I guess I did almost put a raw chicken head on my face. And these are perfect things, for, like I said, for a cocktail party or the UFC fights. I mentioned earlier I do the fight night nachos, which I do with a similar rub with the green chili powder on chicken or a red chili powder on beef. It's super, super simple. You guys all have copies of this, and all those recipes are in there. My mom, who's sort of responsible for everything I know about cooking, a lot of her recipes are in there. I know the chef here last night made my mother's tomato soup, which is creamless, and so anyone you make it for will never know that there's no cream in it.
It was really good.
Thank you for my mom says thank you.
Yeah.
I make it better than Freddie. That's what she would say. That's what she doesn't, but that's what she would say. So yeah, so that's in there. A lot of, like I said, stories are in there, and it should really kind of paint a picture of the type of family that we have, the type of family that I grew up with, and it worked for us, so that's why I'm sharing it. Like, if it's not for you, don't take it. Like, if you want to pray for my family, we'll take it. If that's not your thing, we'll take it. You know what I mean? Like, but this has worked for us. My kids are healthy. I'm healthy. My wife's healthy. My mom's still ticking. My dad's not, but it ain't because of his diet. So the point is, it's a book. And look, there are some funny stories in there too, but I do want to say one thing that's serious. Okay, cool. I do want to say one thing that's serious. Earlier I mentioned, this is something you should cook for your friends or for your family. And I want to talk about friendship for a second and I'll give you guys a chance to ask some questions, I'm sorry. But there's a story in there about Robin Williams and not taking for granted friendships and taking advantage of that time when you have it. And we kept talking about having dinner one time, and you put it off because you go, oh, next weekend I'll do it. I don't want him to have to drive all the way across. Next weekend we'll do it. Next weekend we'll do it. And we talked about video games, Robin and I. I'm a big video game guy, and so is he. He named his daughter Zelda after the video game. And we were finally going to set it up. We put it off, and then the next week I found out that he was gone. I share that story in there because I think it's important, and I hope that when you read it, the moment you're done, you call that friend and you say, hey, I haven't seen you in forever, come have dinner. So that's the fast version of it. I want you guys to have time to ask some questions.